Twins prospects, Twins minor league system. Let's talk about this. I'm going to pick one guy from each of the four affiliates who's off to a good start. We're going to talk about Bailey Ober, Josh Winder, Seth Gray, and Edouard Julien in this video, and I'm going to show you some highlights as well. Thank you for clicking on this video. This is Tom Froming from Twins Daily. Let's get right into it. First guy, we're going to start right at the top with the St. Paul Saints, the AAA affiliate, of course, of the Twins now. It's still kind of weird to say, but they have Bailey Ober. So not only is this a guy who is in AAA, this is a guy who's on the 40-man roster. So he could realistically be called up at any moment, really, especially since he's off to a solid start here. He's only given up 1 earned run in 7 innings pitched so far for the Saints, 5 hits, 3 walks, which is uncharacteristic. He's usually a really, really good control guy, but 8 strikeouts. So again, 3 walks and 8 strikeouts in 7 innings pitched. And this is, in my opinion, a pretty aggressive assignment for him to start the year in AAA instead of, they very easily could have had him start the year in AA. That's where he ended 2019, but he only made 4 starts there in 2019. So it wouldn't have been crazy to put him back in AA and have him earn his way up to AAA. On the flip side, again, this is a guy who's on the 40-man roster. He is 25 years old, so there's kind of not like an age concern with kind of trying to give him a bump. And so far, so good. He's responded to it. And you can't really mention this guy without talking about how tall he is. Yes, he's 6'9", Bailey Ober, 6'9" pitcher. Right-handed starting pitcher. He has unusually good control, and I think his mechanics are pretty smooth. I specifically put a defensive highlight in that mix of highlights of his, so you can see how well he moves around for a guy who's so big. This is a former 12th round pick. I feel like we've been waiting. Derek Falvey coming over from Cleveland. They've done such an amazing job at turning a bunch of like middle to late round picks into very viable and even really good starting pitchers in that organization. I feel like we've been waiting for that from the Twins. We haven't seen, Randy Dobnak's really like the only starting pitcher that this newer regime has developed. And even he really is kind of a false starting right now. Plenty of time for him to turn it around. But Bailey Ober is one of those guys who you kind of think maybe this is one of those guys that they're going to get around. Speaking of that, I think you could also put Josh Winder in that bucket as well. He's the guy I want to mention from the Wichita Wind Surge, the new AA affiliate, the brand new affiliate too. This is a brand new minor league team. He's off to a very good start. 2 earned runs in 15 1/3 innings pitched so far, 19 strikeouts and 4 walks. Again, 19 strikeouts in 15 1/3 innings pitched. He skipped high A. Last time we saw him, he was in Cedar Rapids, which used to be low A. And then, obviously last year we didn't have any minor league baseball, so he's just skipping a level, but he's 24. So there are some reasons to believe that he should be able to kind of stick at this level, and he has. I've been pretty conservative in my ranking of Josh Winder so far as a prospect, because I've been waiting for this. I didn't really put a lot of stock into his 2019 because he was facing such younger competition, so many guys who were less developed in low A, and just kind of, I felt like maybe he's just beating up on those guys. And then he got a lot of steam over with the lost season. There was a lot of video of him, throwing like 97 plus in a lot of workouts. So he's kind of a guy who started to get steam. Now seeing him pitch well in AA, that's really going to push it. That does it for me. Sometimes it's not all about the numbers, but I look at this guy pitch too, and I see a guy I feel like is very likely to stick as a starting pitcher. The fastball is good. He's got a breaking ball, the changeup, which was in that. It looks like it's a workable pitch, and just his demeanor and his pacing and his composure is all very good. This is a guy who was drafted in the 7th round out of Virginia Military Institute, VMI. So the disciplines. If he's made it through, a military type career as well, the discipline's there, the work ethic's going to be there. So really good to see him off to a great start. An honorable mention with that Wichita team. That entire bullpen has been amazing so far for AA. So that's been super encouraging, especially as we've watched the Twins struggle so far. But let's move on down to the next affiliate. Now the high A. They used to be low A. Now they're high A, Cedar Rapids Colonels. And I want to talk about Seth Gray. Seth Gray is a third baseman. He's played a little bit elsewhere earlier in his in 2019, earlier in his minor league career. He played a little bit of shortstop, a little bit of left field, but he's been playing third base pretty exclusively for the Colonels so far. And the thing that's stuck out to me about him is he has a .467 on base percentage. He's got 9 walks and 10 strikeouts. So that's a really good sign. You know, again, these guys haven't played really competitive baseball in so long that any of these guys who are putting together really good professional quality plate appearances on a regular basis are the ones that are really catching my eyes in terms of hitters. That's what I'm looking for from hitters right now. But Gray's also slugging .438, so it's not like it's a completely on-base percentage dependent production. He's got a .904 OPS. You put those together. Gray turns 23 later this month. He's a former 4th-round pick from 2019, so he could be moving on up later on this summer. And then on the low A, used to be high A. Again, these two affiliates switched their positioning. The Fort Myers Mighty Muscles, a new name as well. Edouard Julien, who's a second baseman / a little bit of a third baseman, plays there a little bit. And he's making his minor league debut this year. He was drafted in 2019 and as well, just like Gray, but did not get a chance to play that season. He was an 18th round pick, but he fell down. That doesn't really match his kind of value or projected value being an 18th round pick. He actually had the 6th highest signing bonus of anybody from the Twins draft class that year. He actually got a little bit more than Seth Gray, who was their 4th round pick in that same draft. Julien, 18th rounder, he got a little bit more because they wanted to get him in the system, not have him go back. He could have gone back to Auburn. They wanted to pay him that extra money to get him in the system. And again, like I said, this is his first time we've got to see him in the system, and he's playing really well down there for Fort Myers. He has a .513 on base percentage, 11 walks in 39 plate appearances. That is a 28.2 walk percentage. So he's walking in almost a third of his plate appearances, which is bananas. So you want to look at a guy who's been taking good plate appearances, look no further. And, you know, we've seen him spray the ball a little bit, making solid contact, going to center field, going to the opposite field. He's a left-handed hitter. And he's slugging .464. So it's not like he's only getting on base. He has a .977 OPS. He recently turned 22, so he's pretty young, although he could be a mover as well. A lot of the things, you know, when you talk about guys off to great starts, that's not always what is dictating if a guy moves up or down. You also have to have room. You also have to have opportunity to move up because anytime you're moving up, somebody's moving down unless there's an injury. So keep that in mind. Those are 4 guys. Again, that was Bailey Ober, Josh Winder, Seth Gray, and Edouard Julien. There's no shortage of other guys off to great starts. That's one of the greatest things about following the minor leagues and talking about the minor leagues is there's no shortage of positives to find. You know, you have 4 teams full of guys playing. You're going to be able to find some positive things to follow and talk about. So if you've noticed or happened to catch anybody on MILB.TV or have noticed in the box scores guys standing out, hey, feel free to share it down in the comments. The more the merrier as far as, we could use all the positive Twins news we could get. Although I'm recording this on Saturday, the Twins won in an exciting game. It's still, been a rough start for the Twins, and it's just so great to have minor league baseball back this year and to see these guys. Some of these guys, again, Edouard Julien, first time we're seeing him, drafted in 2019. So really great to see these guys back on the field. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. This has been Tom for more Twins talk, and especially Twins prospect talk here on YouTube. Please consider subscribing. If you enjoyed this video, leave me a like. Thank you.